Howdy, howdy, welcome back to Crafty Grinding. Well, it's time for Round 1 Arena Cutoff results for the Thing and Black Widow Clairvoyant arenas, then jump into some Round 2 predictions. So first, Round 1 results. So it looks like some folks fell asleep at the wheel, or maybe thought that the grind was going to be a little bit higher there for Thing, because, you know, to get a 5-star Thing for 35 million is a really good value, really good spending of one's time grinding the arena to get a champ still like Thing. I mean, he's still one of the top end champs, and to get him for 35 million is pretty much a bargain. And even the 4-star feature coming in at 4.7, that's a pretty low number for that type of champ. And then for Black Widow Clairvoyant, that's pretty much what's expected, coming in around 2.4 million for the 4-star basic arena. So how do these round 1 results? And just to kind of remind folks, especially if you're new here to the channel, these results are self-reported results because Kabam never reports results. So there are a number of places across the community that collect self-reported results from the community, from people who play the game. They'll take screenshots, whatever, and share, like at MCOC Truckos or on Reddit. And then there's different folks there behind the scenes that are collecting those scores and kind of figuring out approximately, and that's always a good way to say it, approximately for the veterans bracket. That's a good important piece, that these results, self-reported results, are for the veterans bracket, which means your account has been open for 60 days or more. If you got newer account, if you got a newer account, 1 to 30 days, you're in the beginners. 31 to 60, you're in the intermediate bracket. Those results are not regularly collected. I occasionally get some insights on that because some of the folks who watch these videos, who are playing either newer accounts, free-to-play accounts, whatever the case may be, alt accounts, they'll share their results, and that's the only way that I get insights anymore on what's going on with those earlier brackets, because for the most part, anybody across the community that collecting information, it's pretty much for the veterans bracket. So that's a long-winded way to say that the results you see here are for the veterans bracket. And if I compare these to my predictions, for the most part, I was in the right vicinity, just a little bit higher because of the unexpected low numbers there for Thing, the 5-star and 4-star feature. So those are not the type of predictions. I try to get within 5 to 10%, and these were a little bit above 10%. But in the case of Clairvoyant, Black Widow Clairvoyant, that was right on target there, right on the bullseye, if you will. And those are kind of what I've tried to help the community grab, kind of thing. So anyway, now that I've done a quick recap of round 1 results, and especially compared to my predictions, let's go get a sense of what might happen this time around for round 2. Starting first with the 4-star basic, what I call medium interest, kind of the type of champs, and what I always medium interest right now are those champs that are, you know, first time in the 4-star basic arena. Even a champ like Namor, this is before he got buffed, or not buffed, I should say balanced. Nerfed is a better definition, whatever. He probably took it worse than Cole. But anyway, before that happened, he was actually one of the highest numbers we've seen now for some time for a 4-star basic arena, coming at 2.8 in round 1. But then the cutoff fell down to 2.5 in round 2. Then you look at Stealth Suit Spidey. He had 2.4 cutoff in the first round, dropped down to 2 million. Mysterio actually went kind of reverse than Stealth Suit Spidey, because he only had 2 million for the cutoff in the first round. Then it jumped up to 2.2. And then what we saw here recently was Sunspot, a similar first-timer coming through the arena that was at or above 2 million. Came in at 2.3 million in the first round, and then folks must have already had him duped or whatever the case. May have fell asleep in the second round because that cutoff fell down to 1.5 million. Now, what you don't see here is Warlock. That's another first-timer champ that came through. He was, I believe it was like 2.5 million for the first round and 2.4 for the second. So there's not a really rhyme or reason in terms of drop or raise, but it looks like for the most part, outside of the Sunspot exception, and because that's kind of the exception to the rule to what you're seeing here, even comparing to the Warlock's 2.4, everything's right around 2 million, or between 2 million and 2.5 million is what you can kind of expect right now for these first-timers. Decent first-timers, I should say, you know, good to great first-timers in the 4-star basic arena, including, again, Warlock's more recent results. So that's something to keep in mind for Black Widow Clairvoyant. Now, when it comes to feature champs, 4-star feature old champs, and the reason why I call them old is because they've been a feature champ before, but that doesn't mean they're old and don't have value in the game. And actually, to the contrary, what you see here are some of the results of old 4-star feature champs. Again, just they've been in feature champ before. Now they've come back around. These are still some really good champs of the game, especially like Annihilus from an Alliance War Defender's perspective, Darkhawk as well, but then especially Domino. And you can see here in the first round, those numbers for the most part are at 6 million or higher. Annihilus again was a little bit lower, and then in the second round, it's for the most part you see an increase outside of Massacre. Now that Massacre was before the new year. It's still back in 2019. Other than that, every second round 4-star feature old champ had a higher second round arena cutoff. So that, I think that's kind of the new trend we're seeing. Outside of Darkhawk though, it's closer to 6 million than 7 million. Now for the 5-star feature for this type of champ, again, old champ because they've been a feature champ before, but still have carry a lot of weight in the game. Domino, you could see, was actually over 40 million. Everybody else was kind of running around that 30 million mark. Because of Domino's, over 40 million, that's kind of where I thought Thing would be, because I think Thing is similar to Domino in terms of where he's at in the meta of the game today. But he actually scored a cutoff closer to Annihilus than Domino. But when you look at the second round results, for the most part, they're slightly above, or real close to what you saw in the first round. So I think that's what we can expect here with Thing. But actually, I do think we're probably going to see a slightly higher number than you typically, a bigger jump. I mean, right now, the biggest jump you see right now is with Domino, 2 million. I think we're going to see a little bit higher than that just because Thing was so low in the first round. But anyway, to kind of recap, or just anyway to reveal what my thoughts are for the second round of the Thing and Black Widow Clairvoyant arenas, here is what I'm thinking. I think we're looking at 40 million for the 5-star feature Thing. I think it's it's a 5 million jump for the 35, just because that 35 was so low than compared to what we've been seeing for like a Domino kind of thing. For the 4-star feature, I think we're looking at 6 million. For Black Widow Clairvoyant, I think we're going to see a slight decrease to 2.3 million. And lastly, for the 3-star feature, I think we're looking at 725,000. And again, these predictions are for the veterans bracket, and I try to get within 5 to 10%. But as you saw, I'm not, nobody's perfect, especially in this approximation guesstimate game. So I always like to give a grind target to give yourself a little bit more cushion, to give you a better chance of getting that champ you're after. Go to 43 million for the 5-star feature Thing, 6.3 million for the 4-star feature. For the 4-star basic Clairvoyant, go to 2.6, maybe 2.7 to make sure you get her, and then 750,000 for that 3-star feature Thing. Now the grind targets and predictions are for the veterans bracket. When it comes to the earlier brackets, there's just not a ton of data out there. Again, I do occasionally get information from the community about where these brackets are kind of scoring, but it's very rough ballpark numbers. It's not a big, statistically significant set of numbers or past results to kind of really feel good about the prediction. So these are very rough ballpark numbers, but it just kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. Starting first with the beginners bracket, 3-star feature Thing, you're looking at 225,000. 4-star basic Clairvoyant, 800,000. 4-star feature Thing, 1.4 million. Now jumping down on the intermediate bracket, 3-star feature Thing, 525,000. 4-star basic Clairvoyant, 1.1 million. And lastly, the 4-star feature Thing, I think we're looking at 1.2 million. So anyway, these are my thoughts for round 2 of Thing and Black Widow Clairvoyant arenas. We'd love to hear your opinions, especially if it's different than mine, or if you have any questions, reach out to the Crafty Grinding Twitter account. That's where I get to more responses on a more regular basis, or you can also reach out to me in the comment section of these videos. Again, unfortunately, I can't get to those as regular as Twitter, so if it's an emergency or urgent need, Twitter's a better spot to reach out to me. But hopefully you found this information helpful. If so, we really appreciate if you click that thumbs up button. Again, it's a good indicator that, hey, this is stuff folks like and you want me to keep on making it, so that's great. And it also helps out the channel, helps video, kind of, I believe it's part of that YouTube algorithm. When people are liking it and commenting, it's going to a more interactive video. It means YouTube's going to make sure it gets out there, so it's a big help to the channel as well when you click that like button and or leave comments. Other than that, if you like my videos and other videos I have on the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, we really appreciate if you did. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and have a great day.